Hello again, this is Joel from Dad Life Chess. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we're going to play a 10-minute game here on chess.com, another training game. Hopefully we can get a game started here. Just a couple days ago, I hit my all-time high score on chess.com for my rapid rating. And it looks like we are paired against an opponent that is significantly higher rated than me. So when you're facing against an opponent that's this much higher rated, it's good to just play good chess. So we're going to try and see if we can get a good game here. All right, so my opponent is playing probably one of the more standard approaches to the London system. Let's see what my opponent does here. So this is an interesting line, one that I actually kind of like to play, and that is this early Queen A4 line. If my opponent plays Bishop D6, there's some really wild and trappy lines that go Bishop A6 here. So yeah, my opponent plays a sensible move. Yeah, because right here, if my opponent pushes, I can take, and he's on my queen, but I would take his queen. I'm also attacking his bishop. So let's go here. Let's see what my opponent has. Sensible enough. Now, I almost feel like I can take here. Am I right? Takes, here, here. This is interesting. Okay, so right out of the bait and right out of the start here, we have a very dynamic position, and I want to spend a little bit of time trying to calculate this. So takes, let's say my opponent takes, queen here. That might be an issue. I don't see the answer. So I can simply take his bishop. Seems so tempting. I'm gonna have to look at that afterwards, I guess, in the analysis. I just don't feel like it's correct. Push here, I have there. We're just gonna take back here, and then I can develop. With tempo. Oops. Well, already I'm not too worried about my position. I think I have a decent position. Part of me wants to do this again. Just gonna castle. My opponent's probably gonna go here. I don't mind taking. Oh wow, that's interesting. Okay. No. Takes, push. Oh, I want to like push again, try to break up this stuff here. Let's see here. Hmm. Just gonna castle. Perhaps I can get my knight here. I was gonna say maybe I can get my knight in here. Takes. My queen's done its job. Let's put a little tickle here. I think I just kind of played right into that. Hmm. Hmm. My opponent recently joined chess.com. It seems like my opponent plays rapid games only, so very high score. 2200 rapid. That's a quality rapid rating for sure. Part of me just wants to push here. I'm going to try to break in the on e4. Obviously stuff like that just falls to this. Takes. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this does. Takes. I feel like right now I'm kind of playing without a plan. I don't really have. I'm just trying to. I'm playing like instinctive moves, and I feel like I'm getting kind of outmaneuvered by my opponent. Props to my opponent. But I do have a strong center. I feel like my chance. Oh wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. Can't I take here? Take here. Oh man, that just feels like there's something here. Feels like there's something here. Wow. Oh wow. Wow, this feels like a critical moment. Um, hmm. Takes. Go here. Go here. What it takes here. I take there. Ah, man. Interesting. I take here. Huh. Oh, I got an idea. Takes, takes. Push, push. Okay, does that work? I'm gonna take here. I'm on his queen. Let's take here. Oh, yes, I only can do that. These pawns are pushing. I have ideas. Where's my opponent gonna go? They're pushing. I'm pushing my pawns. That pawn's a little bit weak and it's on a light square. So I'm wondering, oh, okay, what we got? What we got? What are we gonna do with there? Oh, that would have been a bad pre-move. I gotta stop clicking. Okay, okay. So then I'm on here. Yeah, I'm on here. I'm on here. Here, I'm here. This is interesting. Oh, did my opponent just check here? Oh, that would be okay. That doesn't seem like it's not good for me. Okay, time to calculate. Okay, so the point is, can I... Oh, duh. My opponent can't go there. That's a free pawn. That is a free pawn. He can't go there because the queen's guarding it. Okay, this is interesting. All right, there's some weaknesses here. You can move here, attack that. Okay, yeah, I saw that. I don't know if I want to go here. Does my opponent have any checks? I feel like that's going to be kind of annoyance. So yeah, I'm going to go back here. Opponent goes there. There's a check here. Okay, I see you. Let's go here. Check, I'm covering it. Okay. Let's go here. Okay, there's that. Let's see here. Opponent's getting kind of tricky here. Can I go there? No, because he has this. I gotta guard that square. Okay, and I'm running low on time. Really low on time. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. Checks. All right, let's try this. Okay. I feel like I'm really dangerously low on time here. Go checks. Let's go here. Okay. This is going to get a little tricky. I'm incredibly low on time. So obviously my opponent's probably not going to want to... Oh, wow. I just saw something. If my opponent doesn't take... I have checks here, right? Here. Goes here. Check. I think I have at least perpetual. So I think my opponent will take. I really do. This was this has been a very interesting game. Definitely one to look at some critical points. Yeah. Okay, so my opponent is maybe going to go here. Can I just start rolling? Here? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got. Wow. Yeah. Not good. Not good, not good, not good, not good. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Okay. Oh yeah. That's painful. Yeah. Bummer. Yeah, checks and then here and then push. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely lost this game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go ahead and resign that game. And oh yeah, definitely lost the thread there. We go back here. Oh, let me just kind of go back to the beginning here. Okay, so my opponent played a very aggressive and critical line. This line is ironically right here. Whoops. Let me go back here. I guess I'll do it once we get to the analysis board. But there's a line where if my opponent plays bishop d6, you actually play bishop a6 here. And if they take, you take. It gets messy, and it's quite an interesting position. I was really curious about this because I feel like there's like some tactics after he played rook c8, and I really want to see what the computer has to say about this. My idea was take. Okay, so I took here. My opponent took. I threatened. Here I'm kind of just allowing my opponent to get a very good position. I wasn't really thinking that I had the bishop. I wasn't remembering right here at this moment that I had the bishop pair. Perhaps I should have tried more to utilize that. And then things kind of got dicey in this position. And I feel like I did the right thing by kind of opening up this position. And right here, yeah, there's gotta be a correct defense. And yeah, so I don't know if trading off the queens was a good idea. All of this wasn't really good because I'm here too. Maybe letting my opponent get down into this position. I didn't need to do anything with this queen. This queen's not threatening anything necessarily. Letting the rook down onto the fourth, onto b2 in the second rank was probably a critical error. Honestly, I mean, look, it's going to take a long time for this. I should probably just push the pawn. That seemed to be a critical mistake. And then, as you can see right here, I'm, hovering in the minute category. It's not an excuse. I feel like sometimes when we get low on time, we kind of like, oh, I was winning and then I lost on time. In fairness, my opponent, managed their time a lot better than I did. And so that's a lesson to be learned. At this point, I mean, even here, I should have maybe made some, where am I at? Maybe make some room here. That way I can push my bishop here. If he checks, I can move up. Because I wanted to get this pawn. That might have been my best choice, is push here. I'm curious to see what the computer says. And then, yeah, at this point, I just really lost the thread. and then resigns. Okay, well, let's go ahead and see what the computer has to say here. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens here and look at the analysis. Let me make sure that it's all popped up here. Okay, so we're here on the analysis board. I mean, honestly, but both of us played decently well according to the accuracy. My opponent had 3 mistakes, 1 missed win. I made a blunder, 2 mistakes and 2 inaccuracies. We both played in the over 96, mid 90% accuracy, 95 and 96. So at first glance, you would think it was a decent game. Interestingly, white really never, according to this graph, white, except for like maybe early on in the opening, and I'm going to look where I missed the opportunity there. It looks like black kind of had the game. It says that game could have gone either way. Black missed some opportunities. I was able to come back evidently in the later middle game, close to the end game, and then everything kind of tanked. So, okay, well, let's look at the analysis here. And so we're going to click through. This is all book move up to this point. I'll show the line that I was referring to here. If my opponent would have played bishop d6, you play bishop a6 here, and let's see here, the analysis. You can go this right here, falls into this, and then the bishop takes here, falls into this, and you're on this with check. So it's an interesting line, definitely worthwhile looking at in this position. It's actually already a +2. The best move is actually queen a5, and then you takes, and then here takes, and then you end up taking back again right here, and you're up a pawn, and you have black has a lot of weaknesses, double a pawns, and so yeah, that's definitely an interesting line. Obviously my opponent did not fall into that, played a unique move, a6, which is excellent according to the computer. And then here I played knight e5. Okay, this is okay. Here we go. This is an interesting position. Okay, according to the computer, this is a mistake. So the computer is recommending this maneuver. I was not even looking at that, but I'm curious what happens. I think my calculation was correct. If I take here, that is a mistake, because takes, and then queen here. Yep. That would not work. So I at least calculated that correctly, but by playing here, I needed to play for this idea, and I see why now. Yeah, and then I'm just getting in here, and then I can even drop down here, right? I mean, bishop d3 does the same thing. King has to go to f7. Yeah, this is very annoying for my opponent. Queen c2. That pawn is not looking that great. Yeah, this is an instructional point. When my opponent played rook c8, that's where I should have push, and then you keep pushing and cause that weakness, which is a common thread when they move their bishop out to g4. Okay, so that was a missed opportunity. I took, as the old adage says, to take is a mistake, right? And I oftentimes relieve the tension too early in the chess game here, rather than just trying to build up the pressure. Okay, so here it looks like the computer's saying about equal. At about this point, I kind of felt like I was losing the thread of the opening. I felt like I had some missed opportunities. Evidently, I did. So I was playing moves, but not really like moves with a purpose. But here I thought, well, I can at least push. This has got to be a mistake. Oh no, it's not really a mistake. It just says it's okay. Taking the bishop is the best. That makes sense too. It's the same idea. Takes, Okay, yeah, and then push. Queen has to go back to d8. Then I can take. Oh, it never really wants you to push here. Maybe there. I guess you get the open e file. Bishop f. Okay, that's always going to be a weakness. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, you're literally just on that pawn a lot, and then they're going to need to defend that. You grab the e file and play like that. Positional chess. It's definitely a good idea there. So okay, my opponent takes on the queen, push. That's the best. He takes, rook takes, boom, coming in, takes. Rook f3 takes. Okay, so here, mistake. Bishop f3. Bishop f3. Checks. I'm on that. Checks. King h1. Queen a3. Oof, that's good. That just seems scary. Here. What happens there? Oh, wow. That, see, like, this is the kind of thing that is hard for human to see. I don't know. I mean, that would be hard. That would be hard for me to see. Rook takes. Bishop d2. Bishop takes. Okay. Well, yeah, you get the idea. That's a hard one to see. Bishop f3 was evidently the best. I took here. My opponent played wisely. My opponent played bishop e3. My opponent, in the critical positions, my opponent is seeing some really sharp, good moves. That, of course, was not his best. It's recommending queen b7. Queen b7. Wow, I have to go back to rook f6. The idea here is here, and then there's a lot of. How does that work? Does that work? Oh, because I can come back with the rook. Wow, that's tricky. That's tricky. So my opponent plays queen h4, play g3, which is the best move. Queen h3. I needed to get my bishop. Okay, I needed the same thing here. Rook f6, bishop g5, rook f2, bishop e3, rook f1, guarding that back rank. I can almost come back here almost, and then bishop g5. Okay, yeah, I definitely missed the thread there. This was a blunder, but my opponent didn't spot the best move. Queen f5. Why is that? What is my opponent threatening? Say I play a dumb move. Rook b1. Oh, obviously. Missed that. The threat here is here. I didn't see that. Oh, wow. That's really hard. Rook f6. Queen e4, check. Bishop f3. Rook b1. Oh, wow. And if you do here, you takes, and then you go here, and then you take. Wow. Yeah, that's deadly. My opponent did not see queen f5. My opponent instead played rook b3, rook b2. And this gives about equal. So checks, queen here takes, and right here I needed to play rook a5. Does this? Okay, rook a5. The idea is bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook d7. Okay, I kind of needed to give up the a pawn in order for him not to get like these 3 connected pass pawns. So I was obviously a lot lower on time. which did not bode well. Is this work at all? I'm curious. Instead of that, let's go back one. I go like here. No, because yeah, everything's running. I can't even play here. Yeah, it's just there's nothing I can do. His pawn's gonna advance. His pawn's gonna queen. Okay, yeah, at this point it's over. And okay, yeah. All right, well, that was a very interesting game. Kind of going back from the beginning, I missed an opportunity in the opening to really perhaps capitalize on my opponent's inaccuracy by playing rook c8, and then I could have pushed here, pushing here, and creating that weakness. This is a good example of like not having tunnel vision. I get that a lot when I play a game of chess. I get this like one plan, and it's like I've got to win, on the queen side. And here, really, the whole shift of the game goes from the queen side over to the king side, and could have made some weaknesses there. Time management would have been probably very handy for me in this game. I made some very unfortunate kind of mistakes at the end. My opponent played incredibly well. Props to my opponent. It was a very interesting game. There was a lot of defensive resources, and that was another thing about this game that teaches me a little bit about the way I play. Is when I'm having to defend, that's probably one of my greatest weaknesses. Is being resourceful during those times when you're just kind of being pressed. But there were opportunities. My opponent did not play perfectly. Even in situations like this, taking here, my opponent didn't really capitalize on it. Oops, my opponent really didn't capitalize on that point in the game, and so I could have brought the rook back, brought in some defense, not really caring so much about this a pawn, and hopefully, yeah, because I can't allow my opponent to get into the back rank or anywhere near my queen with his rook. So anyway, all in all, a instructional game, one that I'm definitely going to learn from. It was I found it to be actually quite a fun game. A lot of different dynamic points in the game. So well, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful in some way. Manage your time better, and don't just have tunnel vision in your games. Perhaps look at the entire board. So, well, again, thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later for Dad Life Chess.